Hey guys, Saxy with a bit of a different video today. Instead of hanging out with the boys or anything, this is kind of a story time to talk about what recently went down in a league race, a league racing series that just ended up closing its doors on its Forza series. With the Championship 4. I kind of wanted to talk about this and how interesting this season has been. Showed up for a few races early in the season, ended up getting myself into the playoffs, nothing really special about it. But coming to the second to final round, I was looking outside the ball. We had Road Atlanta, and Indy Oval left, which I hate ovals in Forza so much. I don't know how many times I've said it. I hate them in Forza. They suck. So I thought my last chance was going to be Road Atlanta. I keep want to say it, man. Road Atlanta, where good race, all race, ended up being in second going into the final turns, and the car locked up and costed me every position, putting me in a must-win situation going into Indy Oval, which was a very interesting race in itself. I don't have any clips from any of the races throughout the entire season. That race pulled a Christopher Bell. Wasn't thought of about winning the race the entire time. I thought I was pretty much out of it. I had to win to get in. That's how it was. The dude that was trying to help me win ended up lagging out, leaving me kind of by myself. And the dude I was battling out with, we were 1-2 in the last remaining laps. Coming onto the front stretch, it was a literal drag race to the finish for me to make the Championship 4, which I did. But then we moved into, obviously, Homestead for the Championship 4. It was a 200-lap race around Homestead. Once again, hate ovals. Homestead is my least favorite, actually, out of all. So, I had already gone into this race with the mindset of, if I don't win it, I don't win it. I don't care. Whatever. If I don't win it, it's just that. And obviously, winding through the laps, it came more and more more into my mind that I'm not winning this thing. I'm the second slowest car in the Championship 4. Why would a mullet or pulling away with no issue these two? It's going to be between them. There's going to be zero issue between them. So, what do? I get bored. I pull up my phone and start listening to music. You know, just jamming out. Listening to some Fall Out Boy. Bored. Don't really know what to do. A last-minute caution comes out intentionally from the 40 car of Melon Man. You could tell it was intentional. I didn't get a clip of it or anything, but that ended up causing 2-lap shootout, which is what I am going to show you, and I will talk about from very different angles, just because it's such an interesting thing how this ran down. So, from a 200-lap race to about 202 laps because of a late race caution. And that's what we're about to show you. Or at least I am. So the Championship 4 was Wild, myself, Mullet, and Pro. Pro could not make the race and had Melon stand in for him. And then Ricky was the pace car for this 2-lap shootout. So there was a pace lap, and then we go. So I'll just kind of let it go. And I'll talk about kind of how it went from my point of view. You know. So obviously on this pace lap, I'm thinking still, I'm not winning this thing. Those front two are going to pull away. There's going to be zero issue with that. They're going to pull away. It's between them. This is not going to do anything. So I'm going to have fun with how the thing is going to go. Still listening to music. On caution laps, I had been doing this for a while, that I would just full gun it straight into one of the tire walls and just kill the car. Somehow it did zero damage to the car. Still looks good, as you can see. And the idea behind the paint scheme was this was the paint scheme that ended up winning Indy, so I was like, you know what? Why don't we try to win it with that? If it doesn't win it, doesn't win it. If it wins it, oh, it is the king of ovals, because it had already won a Daytona 500 in a different league. But as we are here, the green will flag wave for the 2-lap shootout. Somehow got a decent start. I was not expecting it. Like I said, I'm just trying to drive at this point. If I got up front, I got up front. That was basically the deal. And I saw Mullet getting underneath me. I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'm not going to fight him. He's much faster than me. I'm just going to let him go. There should be no real reason I should fight him that much. Him and Wild are going to duke it out for the championship. It's whatever. I don't care. It's whatever at this point. I'm fine with third place. White flag. Once again, I'm still thinking, okay, it's going to be Wild versus Mullet. Mullet's going to make a last-minute move. He does it all the time. It's Mullet. It's going to be these two down to the line. Somehow, I'm keeping up with them really well. Going into this final turn, and I see that Mullet sends it in. Matter of fact, I'm going to change the camera angle, just so you can see what I saw. So I always run this camera. So this is what I saw. I see Mullet send it in, Wild's high. Wild man getting tight, hits the wall. Mullet follows him. I sneak through down to the bottom. And that's the championship. Within one turn, go from third place in the championship, not even thinking about the fact that I'm going to win it, into winning. So I'm going to play the final lap from or the hood view of each car. Just so that way it really shows how this race went. And I appreciate these guys for putting this thing together. Wild, I have loved running his league when I have shown up for it. And I am so thankful that I actually got the opportunity to make that championship for, and obviously this race, get the win. Obviously it's a huge disappointment for both of them, the 72 and the 97. But I love these guys. I know they were disappointed in this race, but they cannot say it was a bad finish. So I'm going to give you my point of view here. You see Mullet take it in a little bit deep. You see Wild gets tight. There they go. I take the inside for Mullet. As soon as I was pulling up to Mullet about here, let me see where it was. It was like coming out of the turn, like right about here. I thought he was going to come down and block me. It was over. Mullet's going to win the championship. So I keep pulling down. And he's dooring me. He's not letting me get this thing easy. He ended up almost spun himself out. I will show you the difference between these two cars. That's the difference. Obviously, I didn't deserve it. But I went throughout the entire season with kind of struggling to do anything. Both of them had gotten 6 wins. They had tied for the most wins this season. And I was like, okay, it's going to be one of them that wins the championship. It's whatever. So now we're going to watch Wild's point of view of kind of how this thing went down. Like I said, I appreciate him putting this thing together. It's been around since I believe 21 is when he put it together, but not on Forza. This was, I think, season 4, maybe? I don't know. We're gonna watch the final lap from his point of view. We'll watch this again, because it gives a better look at what's going on around him. You can see Mullet's kind of pushing it a little bit, trying to get to him. He's not giving him much room. He sends it in, you can see. He gets on that apron a little bit. I think Wild just went under pressure and just could not keep the car where he wanted it to. Ended up getting on the wall. Mullet followed him. I had talks with them, and Mullet said, "Oh no, I didn't hit the wall. I wasn't gonna hit the wall. I hit Wild." Clearly from here, if Wild wasn't there, he would have hit the wall. No matter what. But if you notice, Wild comes off the ground from this contact, completely ruining his chance at the championship. Which sucks for him. Did I switch to myself? I did. Okay. We're gonna go to Mullet. So we're gonna watch this final turn from his view. You see, once again, he just gets on that apron, slides up into Wild, puts him in the wall, sees me coming, trying to door me down for it. I end up slipping through while he spins out. I end up crossing the line just before he does. But I think the best camera angle probably ended up being my first person, or potentially Melon's first person. Oh, great, he's doing that weird thing. But you can see Wild just gets too high and they collide. Was Ricky still in here? He was at the end of pit road, so he didn't even get to see the finish. That's sad, Ricky. You didn't get to capture that. I just really want to see what it... Let's go to Mullet. Actually, I want to see what the game, like the replay camera is showing me. So this is your top two. Going into the turn, you see all four of us are still kind of close. And there it is, there's the contact. And I slipped through. Yeah. It's crazy. Like I said, I don't mean any disrespect to either one of them. Like I said, they did a great job all season. Like I said, I did not think I was going to win this thing. I'm still listening to music on this final lap. I still got music playing. I'm having, like, you know, just enjoying life, sitting third place. And I'm like, okay, Mullet's about to take it. And then that happens. And it's so quick of a reaction just to get down to win that. Like I said, that car right there is a lucky charm at Ovals. I ran it at Daytona in a different league. I ended up winning that with that car with really zero issue. Then ran the car the previous week at Indy, won the Indy race out of pure luck. And then come to this one out of pure luck winning again. And I had won Daytona, so I had won all 3 ovals this season. I won the tribute to one of our friends that passed away earlier this year. Running a tribute to him. Looking back at this, it's just crazy. Just to see them go into the turn. And as you can see, he has the Do It for Dawson on the car. Wild running his Minnesota Wild's car, trying to win the championship. Yeah, I would say Mullet probably, and Melon has the best camera angle of the entire event. Because you can see what happens. So we're going to watch this final lap from his point of view. Actually, let's watch the entire, like, 2-lap shootout. So here we are, about to go green. We're going to watch his point of view on this one. See, the thing is, I've had crazy finishes all throughout my career in Forza. I have tied with a driver when I won the championship. I've had races, like obviously the IndyCar Championship here, where I won it on the last lap also with the leader spinning out right in front of me. Obviously this one is an interesting one that I've won. Obviously Indy the previous week came down to basically track position. I ended up staying out when some people pitted and put myself in the front, and that's kind of where I stayed. That's how I won a lot of heat races also. You gotta put yourself in the position, apparently. I'm just good at that. Even if I'm not meaning to put myself in the position, but here comes the last lap move. Melon, it looked like he could have potentially gotten in the wild. Oh, stop. But you could just see Mullet cross the line sideways. Yeah, that's camera roll. Let's see the difference. I was almost entirely across the line. He's at my back tire, spinning out. Once again, it is no disrespect to the 72 or the 97. Those two are some of my closest friends. And I mean, I feel really, obviously, excited and happy that I won the thing, but also at the same time, it's kind of sad that I had to steal it from both of them from doing this while it is off the ground. He's completely off the ground. And that easily could have been a worse situation. I'm so thankful that it wasn't, and I ended up slipping through.